Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you've seen my previous videos and stuff like that, you will understand that when it comes to supernatural things, I tend to be a little bit interested in it because they're very fascinating. There's a lot of mystery that's in this world that we don't really know much about. And it's for a good reason. Simultaneously, it's for a bad reason because you kind of have to know who's on your side and who's not on your side. You'll see what I'm talking about. On today's episode, we will be reacting to The Truth Is, and right here, Hollywood Witch exposes why the gov is hiding magic from you. Now, I believe in magic. Magic is real. It is something that is real. And, you know, what's one of the saying if you're a Christian? They say, one of the saying, I think it's Christianity, or maybe this is a saying that was floating out there, and I'm just going to go ahead and assume it's from Christianity. One of the best tricks that the devil played on the world is he made the world believe that he doesn't exist. That right there. So those of you out there who don't believe in magic, guess what? That's the whole point. They don't want you to believe in magic. And you'll understand why. Let's get it.
Became known by the internet after she did an interview with the YouTuber Tasha K. The interview went viral when she claimed that many celebrities hire her for her root work services. For those who don't know what root work is, it is essentially a form of witchcraft. While this was already interesting enough, what she said about Beyonce is what sparked the internet on fire. During the interview, she confirmed the long-running rumors about Beyonce being a witch.
Bitch.
Oh, I'm a witch, but I don't think for everybody.
She's scared.
No.
Oh, okay. Did you know they tell me Beyonce's a witch and that we should be scared? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's an Ifa. So when she wears her yellow, that's Oshun.
Oh.
Or, you know, riches and beauty, love, and all of that. Which I can see why she's connected to Oshun. But yeah, so it's another kind of tradition.
Okay.
Like a lot of people would think it's, but it's really Ifa. So it's it's like a lifestyle as a religion.
Because I always wonder about y'all on flowers and all that elaborate. I'm like, can nobody buy your clothes? Your clothes look different. You know what I'm saying?
She probably gives her, so she has her own altar. She gives her food. She has parties for her. All of that. Just like Summer Walker.
She stated that she was certain that Beyonce was a witch by some of the things she did and the outfits she chose to wear. Now, this celebrity witch has done another interview with Tasha K, and this time she once again exposed those who are doing witchcraft, claiming that the government is doing witchcraft on the masses and they don't even realize it. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about the celebrity witch Satin Says, exposing how the government is using witchcraft on the masses. Let's get right into it. While most everyday people don't believe in magic and witchcraft, most of the rich and powerful celebrities, including the elites of this world, do. Unbeknownst to most, witchcraft and magic has been incorporated into the very fabric of this country. While everyday people just live their lives in the physical world, those with knowledge of the occult tap into the spiritual world and use it for their advantage. They are the ones who want people not to believe in God or in magic, because then they can continue to use witchcraft to enslave you. When people think of magic, they instantly think of fairy tales and fiction. They think that the idea of people doing magic is simply crazy. But they failed to realize this country was created by men who were all occultists. The founding fathers of this country.
Now, for those of you out there who don't truly understand, because again, he's right. When people think of magic, they assume like, oh, it's somebody in the wood like doing, you know, all kinds of things that can turn a human into a frog or whatever. That's a lie. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you right now that is not really real magic. Real magic is invoking the unseen. It's invoking creatures in which you and I don't see. Let's step into the Islamic perspective real quick, and then I will explain to you so that way you can understand where I'm coming from. As a Muslim, we believe in jinns. In the Quran, Allah says that they reside, meaning jinns, in places in which you don't see them. Every single human being has been designated a jinn. We all have a jinn with us. And they're constantly whispering bad things to us. And so these masons and stuff like that, they like to invoke the jinns so that way the jinns can help them out in whatever it is that they do. And so when you see like movies where they're doing like exorcism and stuff like that, some of those things are real. The jinns will physically affect a human being, and the human being will do things in which they were never capable of doing, right? And so a lot of these, what do you call it, Freemasons and stuff like that, when they deal in magic, when they deal in communication with the jinns, they want to let the jinn somehow, some way possess them. So that way they can, you know, start doing certain type of things, which is why people like Beyonce, when she's on the screen, I'm sure you've probably seen like videos and stuff like that of her, like her face changing into like some sort of demonic things and stuff like that. All of these things, yes, they allow jinns to come into them, which is why they do like all kinds of stupid ritual that will include human sacrifice or sexual intercourse, because when you involve yourself in sexual intercourse, it puts you in a state of impurity. What's another thing? Having intercourse with a man, using menstrual blood and semen, you name it. They want to be in a state of impurity, and they use all this bodily fluid and also involve themselves in all kinds of ritual to open themselves up for these demons and stuff like that to possess them. Now you know.
Were all members of the secret society called the Freemasons. The Freemasons practice a form of witchcraft called ritual and ceremonial magic. They use certain rituals, symbols, and other methods to learn hidden occult knowledge. America is a country rich in Masonic symbols and occult ideologies that reflect the founding fathers' involvement in Masonry. So if you don't believe in witchcraft, that doesn't really matter. You can think it's silly and isn't real. That doesn't change the fact that those who run this country do believe in magic and have been using it to enslave people for centuries. Witchcraft is in everything the masses consume. I recently did a video on Universal Studios where they have a literal voodoo donut shop that sells donuts with satanic symbols on them. This is a literal representation to what those who run this world are doing. They are using everything that reaches the masses to put a spell on them, keep them pacified in order to make people easier to control. Magic, at the end of the day, is all about control. That's why we can see magic in all fabrics of our world. The government has the world under one big spell. That's exactly what this celebrity witch Satin Says recently revealed on a Tasha K interview. Last time she was on Tasha K, Satin Says revealed that Beyonce was definitely a witch, which for those with eyes to see should be a no-brainer. Beyonce made it pretty obvious with the symbols she uses and outfits she has worn in the past. Now, Satin Says is back, and this time she revealed that the government has the masses under a spell. She told Tasha K that the government is hiding the truth about magic and witchcraft from the masses, claiming that they're doing this in order to keep it to themselves. They want to make sure that they are the only ones with access to the magic and are the only ones able to use it against the masses.
You're here to
Who else is scared?
dispel, because people they call you a witch.
Okay, and? What's the problem?
I guess with the branding and, ever since like storybooks or fables, any storybook that I can remember in school, witches were bad.
Yeah, that's what they teach you. Yeah. So you don't tap into your power. I mean, why would I tell you that I'm doing a spell on you? I'm going to tell you that spells are bad so that I can do it on you. That's how I feel like society manipulates people, because it's been sensationalized. Like, oh, witchcraft is bad, witchcraft is this, but they're doing witchcraft on you. So yeah, we're all under a spell.
Explain that. Who is who?
The government.
The government's doing witchcraft on people.
Yeah, our money has sigils on it.
Please elaborate, please.
So here's one way that government or any magicians out there somehow, some way infect people. One thing you will understand is that when these demonic idiots try to put people under a spell, they have to get your consent. You have to understand something. They have to get your consent. Now, let's say they don't get your consent. How would they affect somebody who doesn't want to be affected? They can get like some sort of DNA and stuff like that, right? If you hear stories of jinn possession, this is common in those stories. It's that the person who is possessed, they had the DNA in the hands of the magician one way or another, whether that's saliva or, you get the idea. But in order for a mass population to be under a spell, they have to consent to it. Right? This is one of the rules that people who deal in magic have. Or should I say, devil worshippers or stuff like that. One of the rules that they have is, in order for them to, for example, right? If they have a poison apple and it says poison apple and you eat it, they feel like they're not responsible for that. Rather, you are responsible for it. This is their philosophy. This is what they believe in. So in order for them to possess you, they have to tell you, hey, this is what we're going to do. Which is why when you see shows like The Simpsons, you will realize that they do a lot of predictions on there, right? Some of them come true and some doesn't come true. You think that's by coincidence? No. And it's not just The Simpsons. Even if you watch movies and stuff like that, a lot of the event that took place in the past, if you watch some of the movies, the older movies before that event took place, you will realize that in these movies, they were telling us what they're going to do. And we did nothing about it. That's our way of consenting to it. That's how they're able to affect people via magic.
I've
Okay.
heard of something like that, but I just be like,
Yeah.
here go the wormhole YouTube.
Yeah, we can go before we go down the wormhole, but I'll give it like a surface
Yeah,
level.
go ahead.
So if you look at the dollar, first of all, it's a dead president on it. It's an ancestor
Okay.
off the rip, right? So when you look at the different pyramids and certain like lines and how they print their money, it's all a spell. It's all a ritual, right? So every time you touch money, even psychologically, when you're thinking about money, it is all outlined to you, subliminal. Everything you watch is subliminal. When you think about it, your music is subliminal. The 808s, all the beats, everything. They are 100% controlling us.
And that's what I'm saying is that they tell you what they're going to do, but they don't directly tell you. Rather, they do it subliminally. And one of the best way that they do that is, you guessed it, music. Music is the most powerful tool that they use to get to your subliminal subconsciousness. That's why beats are used. That's why when you repeat a beat so many times, what it does is it opens up your subconsciousness without you acknowledging it, without you knowing that it has opened up your subconsciousness. And so when you're constantly listening to music and the beat, it opens up certain areas of the brains and stuff like that to receive messages. And that's why you'll feel depressed or anxious or angry. You go through certain type of emotion. And one of the best way for you to understand which emotion you're going through is like movies. When you're watching a movie and a love scene come, try watching that love scene but without the music in the background. It look cringe as hell. But if you put the music in there, it makes you feel, I guess, love, or a certain part where you're supposed to be angry. When that part comes, they put music in the background that is making you feel angry. Music plays a huge role in our day-to-day life. Movies do it. Obviously, you get the whole idea.
Yes. So if you know that you're being controlled, now you can't be controlled anymore. But if you don't know, they can continue to control you, and that's what's happening. So, and that's what I meant by people that are manipulated by media, by what they're seeing on TV, by their music. If they don't know that they're being manipulated, it works. If they're awakened and protected from it, it does not. The slave that is enslaved and know he's a slave will revolt. The slave that doesn't believe that he's enslaved, the slave that thinks that he's being helped, he's being manipulated, will always remain a slave. He's never going to revolt. That literally happens today, all the time.
Give me an example.
Okay, so what I meant by the media, right? Okay.
Yeah.
When people think of success, they say, okay, I need to go out, I need to buy a mansion, I need to buy Maybach, I need to do this, I need to do that. That is not really what they want. That's what they're being told they want. So they will really be a slave, like going to work 9 to 5, doing this, doing that, not saying nothing wrong with 9 to 5.
Yeah, exactly.
What I mean is, if that is not your gift, that is not your calling, you're just doing it to get what looks like success, you are being manipulated. And you are a worker for these big corporations that do not have to work now. Because you've already went through school, which basically is either a pipeline for you to be a worker, or you're going to prison, Listen to this real quick. Schools, the cafeterias look exactly like the cafeterias in a prison.
As much as I don't support witchcraft,
I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right there. I want to make this video short as possible. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today. If you made it this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I hope you learned something about the spiritual world.